Yeah, that's a big challenge for people. And it is nerve-wracking when you're always sending a quote to people. The first thing you have to think is never chase to the bottom. There's always going to be someone that's cheaper than you. Always. Second thing is cheaper doesn't mean better. If your client is just focused on cheap, getting the best price, then they're not your ideal client. That's not the kind of client you want to go after. There's nothing wrong with having a budget and someone who's looking for something affordable, because that's what I focus on. Those are my clients. But there's a difference between affordable and cheap. And some people are just cheap and they want to go for the lowest number and they don't think about what they're actually getting for that. So don't try to compete with everyone. Like you said, there's a ton in India that do it for very cheap. There's probably a bunch in Thailand that do it for really cheap too. And it'll often happen in countries where expenses are lower, right? Because like you have an advantage there. You can get a client from the United States or Europe where the average rate is way higher. People spend thousands of dollars on websites, and that money will go much further in a place like Thailand or India. So you have an advantage in that, so you can offer a lower rate. But it really does come down to try to focus on what value you currently have to offer. It's all about value. If you feel like your skills are not expert level, they're medium level or moderate, then you adjust your price accordingly so that people's expectations are appropriate. So I think your price range, 600 or 700 euros, that's a good start. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because the other thing you have to remember is you're just starting out. You need to build a portfolio. That's just a tough reality. I built my first few sites basically for free, just so I could have something to show clients, because they won't want to work with someone that doesn't have evidence of work they've done in the past. A portfolio. You will have to work for cheaper in the beginning. That is just a reality. Everyone has to do it. I did it, but it will grow, and try to resist the temptation to chase for the bottom. If you give a quote and the client says, oh, that's too much, don't just say, okay, I'll do it for this then. It screams of desperation, and they'll actually respect you less. They'll actually be less interested. Even though that you lowered the price, they'll just be like, oh, I don't know if I really trust this guy. He seems like he's really desperate for work. Whereas if you stick to your number, because this is the number you're worth, and you clearly articulate and explain why the price is at that rate and what they're getting for it, and you just stand your ground, as nerve-wracking as that can be. But yeah, in the beginning, you'll have to be a little flexible so you can build up your portfolio. And then as time goes on, you should really look at ways to build your monthly income, residual, passive income, by offering like website hosting and maintenance services. That's going to make the constant chase for new clients way easier. One day you won't have to do it. You'll be able to just live off of your monthly passive income.